Welcome to my YouTube channel Modi Mechanical Engineering Tutorials. In this video, I would like to explaining on molding methods used into a casting process. So that will be the very important for the casting process. So let us start with the molding methods. So various molding methods are used as below. So first one that will be as a bench molding process. Second one floor molding. Third pit molding, and fourth one machine molding process. So in machine molding it will be jolt machine is being used. Second one squeeze machine. Third one the combination of jolt squeeze machine, and last one sand slinger. So now we will discussing first one, and that will be bench molding machine. So just you can see into a bench molding machines. So that will be considering as a one kind of bench, or you can say standing positions. So in a bench molding is carried out on a bench of convenient height as per the ergonomics, or you can say as per the standard height is being as a human being. Small and light molds are prepared onto a benches. Both green and dry sand molds can be made onto a bench molding process. So just you can see that will be the one kind of bench arrangement, and onto that will be the cop and drag, and there will be the sand particles that will be filled into a cop and drag onto the bench, and other various instrument is being used for making a sand mold. So whole the process that will be carried out onto a one kind of bench, or can say into a standing positions with a convenient height up to a bench height. That's why it will be known as a bench molding process. Molds both for ferrous, especially for the non-ferrous castings, are made onto a bench molding process. Both cop and drag are rammed onto the bench. Second one, floor molding process. So just you can see all that particularly process of the castings, like a mold making, ramming of the sand, pouring of that particular molten form of the metals, all that operations it will be onto a floor. So basically molding work is carried out on foundry floor when mold size is quite larger and molding cannot be carried out onto a bench. So that will be the most feasible positions onto a floor, because that will be the large size of the castings. So that will be having a difficulties onto a bench molding. Medium and the large size castings are made by floor molding process. The mold has its drag portions in the floor, and the cop portions may be rammed in a flask and inverted onto a drag. So that will be the practice for making a casting process. So in case of the floor molding, both the green and dry sands molds can be made by a floor molding process. Third one, pit molding. So basically for very big castings which cannot be made in flask, or you can say mold in pits, do on the floor. So very large size jobs can be handled and cast easily through a pit molding process. So what happens? Just you can see the mold has its drag part in the pit, and a separate cop is rammed and used above the pit drag. So the depth of the drag in pit molding is much more than that into the floor molding process. So in pit molding, what happens? The molder may be enter the drag and prepare it. A pit is square, or you can say into a rectangular shapes. So as per my requirements, the side of the pit, or you can say drag, are lined with a brick, and the bottom is covered with the help of molding sand. The cop, or can say one kind of separate flask, is rammed over a pit, or you can say onto a drag with a pattern into the position. Gats, runner, pouring basing, sprue, etc. are made into a cup. So that will be the usual practice you should find into a sand molding. The mold is dried by the means of the stove heaters placed into a pit. Cop and drag are then assembled. A crane may be used for lifting and positioning the cop over a drag. Says from the resources and the requirements, and you can see size of the jobs, it will be utilized. Cop can be clamped in position. Mold is ready for being poured. So that will be the general process for pit molding. Machine molding process. So nowadays maximum applications that will be made with machine moldings. So in bench, floor and pit moldings, the different molding operations are carried out manually by the hands of molder, whereas into the machine moldings, the various molding operations like sand ramming, rolling the mold over, withdrawing the patterns, etc. is to be done by a machines. Machine performs these operations much faster, more efficiently, and in a much better way as compared to the manual operations. So by the machine molding producing identical and constituent castings. Molding machines producing castings of better quality and at a lower cost. So that will be the essential requirements in any productions. Molding machines are prepared for mass productions of the castings, whereas hand molding, in case of the bench, pit, or floor, is used for the limited productions. So nowadays, maximum applications on the basis of machine molding processes. Machine molding is not a fully automatic process. Many operations can be through performing by the machines, yet some operations is to be carried out by the manual. A few different types of molding machines are listed below. So just you can see, jolt machine, squeeze machines, combination of jolt and squeeze machines, and last one, sand slinger. So now we'll discussing with each and every machines that will be used into a machine molding. So starting with jolt machine. So just you can see the figure. So here that will be the pistons and that will be connected with a table, and table it will be onto table, that will be the bottom board. Onto that board the pattern is to be placed, and around the patterns the mold box that will be filled with sand particles. So into a jolt machines, what happens, just you can see, a jolt machines consist of a flat table mounted onto a piston cylinder arrangement. So that will be a piston cylinder arrangement, and this table it will be resting onto that. So what happens? It can be raised or you can say lowered by means of the compressed air. So by the application of the compressed air, these pistons it will be up and down, or you can say raised and lower down. So what happens? In these operations, the mold box with the pattern and the sand is placed onto the table. So this is the pattern. This is a mold box with a sand. So what happens? The table is raised to a short distance and then drop down under the influence of the gravity against a solid bed plate. So around this piston cylinder, it will be the solid bed plates. So what happens? This will be striking onto the solid bed plates. So what happens? The actions of the raising and dropping, or you can say raising and lowering, is called as a jolting. So by these jolting actions, what happens? The sand particles to get packed tightly above and around the pattern. So all that sand particles around the patterns which will be tightly packed with patterns. So the number of jolts may be varied depending upon the size and the hardness of the mold required. Usually less than 20 jolts are sufficient for a good molding process. So the disadvantages of this type of process is that the density and hardness of the ram sand at the top of the mold box is less when compared to the bottom portions. So these machines, just you can see around this pattern area, or you can see in contact with sand particles, it will be tightly fixed. But the above portion of these sands, it will be not densely packed, so that will be having a quite difficulties for in its shape and size. So this is the basic disadvantages. Only the one side it will be quietly fixed, or you can say it will be having a good properties. So this is a jolt machines. Second one, squeeze machines. So just you can see the figure here, that will be the one board. It will be known as a bottom board. Onto the bottom board, similar kind of arrangement like pattern with the arrangement with a mold box filled with the sands. And just you can see above portions, that will be the squeeze plate. So by these squeezing actions, or you can say by these plates, it will be rammed onto the top side of the mold box. So just you can see in the squeeze machines, the mold box with the pattern and sand in it placed onto the fixed table. So this is the fix, and a flat, or you can say rubber diaphragm, is brought in contact with the upper surface of the loose sand, and pressure is to be applied. Pneumatically operations with a cylinder pistons. So the squeezing actions of the plate causes the sand particles to get packed tightly above around the pattern. So in that case, it will be the above sand, it will be tightly packed, but some looseness it will be found around the pattern. So the squeezing is continued until the mold attains the desired density. In some machines, the squeeze plates may be stationary while the mold box is to be upward. So this squeeze plate, it will be stationary, and just you can upward, or you can say upward motions of that particularly hold the assemblies of a bottom board with a pattern and mold box with the sand. But the most feasible, that will be the squeeze plate is to be applied a pressure onto the mold box. So the disadvantages of squeeze machine is that the density and hardness of the ram sand at the bottom of the mold box is less when compared to its top portion. So good tight fittings of the sands, it will be only the upper side. So that will be having a difficulties for the lower side. So that will be quite reverse in case of the jolt machines. So in previous jolt machines, the different kind of things. So the third category, that will be the combination of the jolt and squeeze. So that will be overcome the both the difficulties in the both the machines. So that will be the next one, jolt squeeze machines. So just you can see that will be the lower part. We already discussing into the jolt machines. So that will be the compressed air is being used for up and down motions of the cylinder piston mechanisms, or you can say jolt pistons. So these jolt pistons, it will be connected with the table, and onto the tables it will be the patterns and particularly mold box. So what happens, this mold box, it will be upward and drop out downward. And one more things, it will be the combination of the squeeze machines. So upper, that will be the squeezer. So squeezer plate, or you can say squeeze board, is being used. So from top side as well as from the bottom side, from both the side, it will be the rammed actions, and it will be having a good result that will be overcome into the jolt squeeze machines. Just you can see, jolt squeeze machines combines the operating principles of the jolt as well as squeeze machines, resulting into the uniform ramming of the sand into all the portions of the molds. Or you can say it will be around, or you can say sand, it will be densely packed around the patterns from the corp as well as the drag side. The machine makes the use of the match plate patterns placed between the corp and drag box. So just you can see that will be the match plate, and from both the side that will be the match plate patterns. So basically that will be also required upon my shape and size of the cast product. The whole assembly is placed onto the table with the drag box on it. So in these machines, what happens? The whole assembly is placed onto the table with the drag box on it. So the table is accurately by two pistons into the air cylinders, one inside others. So the one piston called as a jolt pistons raises and drops the tables rapidly and for a predetermined number of the times, while the other pistons called as a squeeze pistons, and that will be pushes the table upward to squeeze the sands into the flask against the squeeze plates. So in these operations, sand is filled into the drag box and jolted repeatedly by operating the jolt piston. So that will be the combination of the both the machines like jolt machines and squeeze machines. After jolting, the complete mold assembly is rolled over by the hand and the cup is now filled with sand, and by operating the squeeze pistons, the mold assembly is raised against the squeeze plates. By the end of these operations, the sand is into the mold box that will be uniformly packed. So that will be no any kind of disadvantages of jolt squeeze machines. So basically, the disadvantages that will be found into jolt machines as well as squeeze machines. So that will be overcome onto a jolt squeeze machine. So that will be the combination of the both the operations. The last one, sand slinger. So just you can see the basic arrangement. So that will be the base. It will be connected with the sand bin, and just you can see one kind of bucket elevator kind of arrangement is there. So with the application of this bucket, so these sand particles it will be continuously feeding onto a belt conveyor. So by the application of the bucket elevators, it will be containing with the sand bins and it will be upward and it will be onto a belt conveyor. So by the application of the belt conveyors, these sands now it will be into a sand impellers, or you can say ramming head. So by these ramming heads, what happens? By the force, these sands it will be forcefully onto the mold box, and this is our swinging arm. So by these swings, these sand particles it will be forcefully pack the overall mold box. So just you can see, a sand slinger is an automatic machine equipped with a unit that throws the sand rapidly and with the great force into the mold box. So just you can see the figures. Sand slinger consists of the rigid base, sand bins, bucket elevator, belt conveyor, ramming's head, and a swinging arm. So that we already learned. That will be the arrangement. It will be fine into the sand slinger. So in these operations, pre-mixed sands mixture from the sand bins is picked up by the bucket elevator and is dropped onto the belt conveyor. So this is the sand bins and that will be collecting with the help of bucket elevators towards a belt conveyor. So what happens? The conveyor carries the sands to the ramming head, inside which there is a rotating impeller having a cup-shaped blade rotating at high speed. So more than 1800 revolution per minute. The force of the rotate blades imparts the velocity to the sand particles. As a result, the sand is thrown with a very high velocity into a mold box, thereby filling and ramming of the sand at the same time. So that will be densely packed around a pattern, or you can say into a mold box. So the density of the ramming sand can be controlled by varying the speed of the impeller, rest of the operations, removal of the patterns, cutting the gates, and is to be done manually. In the initial stages of the ramming, the blades are rotated at very slow speed around 1000 to 1200 rpm to avoid the damage to the pattern due to the abrasive actions of the high velocity of the sand particles onto the pattern. So I hope you understand this. If you like this, then subscribe and share. Modi Mechanical Engineering Tutorials. Thank you so much and keep watching.